The architecture of inner health, building a body that lasts, the temple that survives earthquakes. A monk once oversaw a mountain temple in a seismic zone. Every few years, the tremors would shake the hillside. Many buildings cracked, statues fell, tiles shattered, but one small temple at the heart of the complex always remained intact. No damage, no collapse, and just silent presence among havoc. When asked why, the monk replied, "They built the temple from the mountain itself. They did not stack it above the ground. They rooted it in rock so that even earthquakes pass without changing it." Your body and mind can be that temple. You don't become indestructible through external bracing. You become unshakable by aligning with your deepest architecture. Chapter 54 of the Tao Te Ching. Good construction does not fall down. A good embrace does not let go. Their heirs honor them unceasingly. Cultivate it in yourself, and that virtue is real. Cultivate it in the home, and that virtue is abundant. Cultivate it in the locality, and that virtue lasts. Cultivate it in the nation, and that virtue is rich. Cultivate it in the world, and that virtue is universal. So observe yourself by yourself, observe the home by the home, observe the locality by the locality, observe the nation by the nation, observe the world by the world. Now, how do I know the world is as it is? So by this. This chapter is a blueprint for lasting health and awareness. It tells us that integrity, structure, and virtue are not fleeting. They endure when built well. In the language of the Tao, good construction means inner architecture, a body, mind, and spirit built so that they don't collapse under pressure. So today I want to teach a discipline-oriented Health Plus awareness lesson. How to build yourself from the inside out, like a structure that doesn't fall down, using your 7 links as pillars of inner construction. Chapter 54's teaching is, good construction does not fall down. Let's apply that to your inner health. The 7 links of lasting inner architecture below is one way I'd map the Daoist teaching in the chapter to a modern practice framework, with your 7 links as the pillars that keep the structure standing. The 7 links of lasting inner architecture offer a modern framework through which we can embody the timeless wisdom of the Tao. These aren't merely concepts or best practices. They are structural components of your inner temple. When built with care, they ensure that you don't collapse under stress, distraction, or fatigue. Let's walk through each one. The first link is foundation. This refers to grounding, body awareness, and the basic structure of your daily life. Without a solid foundation, everything above it wobbles. In the body, it's your connection to the earth. In your habits, it's your consistency. When foundation is lacking, you may feel unsteady and mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. But when it's strong, you feel supported. Next comes alignment. This includes posture, spinal integrity, and balanced joints. Alignment is not just physical, it's energetic and mental too. Misalignment leads to strain, inefficiency, and eventually breakdown. But when alignment is right, movement becomes easeful, thoughts become clearer, and your whole system works in harmony. The third link is relaxation. This doesn't mean collapse, it means release. Letting go of unnecessary tension in the body and friction in the mind. Tension is the slow corrosion of health and clarity. When you relax deeply, your nervous system resets. Your energy becomes available again. You can be strong without being rigid, and the fourth link is cultivating the breath. The breath is the bridge between body and mind. It carries life force. If the breath is shallow or erratic, health begins to fray. When it is deep, rhythmic, and conscious, it becomes the fuel for vitality, awareness, and inner peace. Everything in your system begins to regulate. The fifth link is focusing the mind. This is about attention, presence, and mental discipline. Without focused attention, your energy leaks, your awareness becomes dull. But when you train your mind to focus, gently but consistently, everything sharpens. This is the difference between distraction and mastery. The sixth link is guided intent energy. This is the ability to direct your inner energy with clarity and purpose. It's the unseen but deeply felt movement of will, not through force, but through intentionality. This is where raw potential begins to take shape. When your energy is guided by clarity, your actions become impactful without strain. Finally, the seventh link is spirit. This is the animating force behind the structure. It's your surrender to something greater, your alignment with meaning, and your connection to the invisible. Without spirit, the structure might stand, but it feels hollow. With spirit, everything becomes alive. Together, these seven links form the architecture of lasting inner health. They are not nice to haves, they are essentials. Practiced together, they create a structure within you that doesn't collapse under pressure. Instead, it adapts, responds, and even thrives. They are your invisible scaffolding, your inner Tao made tangible. To live well, these aren't optional extras. They're part of your architecture, constructed in yourself so you don't collapse under pressure or drift into distraction. How Chapter 54 resonates with the seven links? 1. Foundation and self-cultivation. The Tao says, cultivate it in yourself, and that virtue is real. So the first step is to build inner virtue. That is your foundation. Without a grounded self, external practices become superficial. 2. Proper alignment and structural integrity. When the Tao speaks of good construction, it implies precision, balance, proportion. If the temple is crooked, it eventually collapses. In your body, that means posture, spinal alignment, joint health. In your mind, alignment means your values, integrity, and consistency don't contradict each other. 3. Relaxation and non-tension. A good embrace does not let go. This image suggests steadiness, not rigid grip. Relaxation is not sloppiness. It's an essential quality that allows you to adapt and endure. Rigid systems break, soft systems flex. 4. Cultivating the breath. To sustain a structure, you need energy flow. Breath is that circulatory system for life. If breath is shallow, the structure becomes brittle. If breath is deep, the walls stay strong. 5. Focusing the mind. Chapter 54 tells us to observe yourself by yourself. This is a call to attention, to self-observation. You can't maintain discipline unless you see when you're slipping. Focus is the lens that keeps you on path. 6. Guided intent energy. The Tao produces but does not possess, acts without presumption. That implies subtle energy flow guided by intention, not control. When you learn to move your energy with purpose, without force, you harness real power. 7. Spirit and universal virtue. Finally, the Tao wants virtue to extend outward, to home, to locality, to the world. That's the spirit dimension. Your inner construction isn't for your ego. It's for service, connection, and harmony with the whole. The healer who rebuilt herself. Let me tell you about Lena. Lena was a healer, massage therapist, movement coach, and intuitive guide. But after years of overwork, she got sick. Her body lost balance. She couldn't sleep. Her voice cracked. She had to stop. Everything she had built her identity around collapsed. She could have given in, but instead, she used that breakdown as her blueprint. She rebuilt herself using the seven links. She began with foundation, walking barefoot, reconnecting to the earth. She realigned posture, waking early to stretch alignment chains. She practiced progressive relaxation every evening, releasing tension before sleep. She reconnected to the breath through subtle pranayama and micro-inhalations during her work. She reintroduced mental focus through short meditations, noticing distractions. Then she began guided energy practices, moving qi in her hands, letting healing energy circulate. And she leaned into purpose, to serve, to heal, to contribute. Slowly, others began to notice, not because she shouted her transformation, but because she became quiet, strong, visible in her stillness. Her healing became a course, not flashy, not hyped, but deeply potent. And the best part, her work no longer drains her. It nourishes her. She built a temple in herself, one that doesn't collapse. That is hidden construction. That is Tao in flesh. A practical practice, 7-link check. Here's a short daily audit you can do, 5 to 7 minutes. Use it to assess and reinforce your inner structure. 1. Foundation. Stand with feet shoulder width. Feel your weight. Are you rooted? Soft knees? If you shift the weight side to side, does your spine wobble? 2. Alignment. Check your posture. Lift crown, lengthen spine, soften shoulders, align pelvis. Make micro adjustments until your body feels centered. 3. Relaxation. After you align, notice areas of tension, jaw, neck, lower back. Breathe into them. Let them soften, not collapse, but release undue grip. 4. Breath. Take 5 full breaths. Inhale to full capacity. Exhale fully. Notice any restrictions. Over time, deepen your inhalation and elongate your exhalation. 5. Mind focus. For 1 breath cycle, let go of all thoughts except the word way. Recenter if the mind wanders. Just way in, way out. 6. Guided energy. With eyes closed, imagine a warm ball of light in your lower belly or heart. Let it expand gently through your hands or limbs. Move it with intention, not force. Sense flow. 7. Spirit, purpose. Whisper to yourself, may my structure serve life. Visualize your inner construction extending outward to home, field, locality, community. If you do this short check each morning, or morning plus midday reset, you are reinforcing your internal architecture. You're training your body, breath, mind, energy, and purpose into a unified system. Why this matters for health and awareness. In today's era, people try to patch symptoms, pain, fatigue, anxiety, sleeplessness, without going to the roots. They treat the cracks without reinforcing the frame. That's why many fast workouts fail, supplements fizzle, and adrenaline becomes a permanent sedative. But when you build well, the symptoms shift naturally. Pain diminishes because the architecture is strong. Focus returns because the mind isn't overtaxed. Breath deepens because you've unblocked the channels. Presence comes because your spirit is allowed to lead without fighting. This is what good construction does not fall down means in the modern body-mind-spirit context. When your inner structure is aligned, relaxed, energized, focused, and spirited, you don't collapse in crisis. You don't burn out in ambition. You don't fade under pressure. You're steadied by virtue. So here's my invitation. Choose just 1 link you'll bring into sharper awareness this week. Foundation, alignment, relaxation, breath, focus, energy, or spirit. Use the 7-link check daily to anchor yourself. Whenever the world tries to pull you toward the byways, stress, distraction, urgency, return to that link. Come home. Remember, beings honor virtue naturally, not because you demand praise, but because your structure sustains. Your discipline becomes invisible influence. Your health becomes your wisdom. And in that grounded quiet, you begin to transform the world around you by virtue of how you live, not how loudly you preach. Let the builders build quietly. Let your temple stand, even when the storms come. That is the way.